Alright, in this matchup we have the powerful green versus the speed of red. Let's see how it goes. Green's going to draw up a forest, a Sky Shroud Troll 3/3 who can regenerate, another forest, which is good for green. Green wants to have a decent amount of land, not too much now. We got a fourth forest. A Nespian Asp, it's a 4/5 with reach, who can Monstrosity 4, get even larger. And the last card, so we're hoping for something a little smaller. There we go. A Overgrown Battlement, which is a 0/4 wall, who can also add land. A little mana dork. Alright, so that's a pretty good starting hand for green. We're going to have our defense. We have a 4-drop who can defend, and we have a late game with a good amount of mana to help us get going. Let's see what red gets. Red's looking for a little bit faster opening. We got a Minotaur. That's a 2/2 with haste who comes out as a 4/2 for 1 turn. A Mountain. Mog Flunky's a 3/3, but he has to attack with a friend. He cannot attack alone. A Lightning Elemental. It's a 4/1 with haste. Let's see what else we get. Madcap Skills. It's an enchantment, gives the creature +3/+0 and menace, I believe. They can't be attacked. They can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. However, red is looking for a little more land here. There we go. Second Mountain. That's probably good enough for red. And the 7th card is another Lightning Elemental, another 4/1 haste. Not a horrible opening hand. We'd hope for maybe a 2-drop that could come out, but maybe we'll draw one. Alright, so green's going to go first in this game, playing a forest, and passing the turn. Red will draw. There we go, a 1/1 with haste, Raging Goblin. That's what red wants to draw. Fun fact, that's actually what my tattoo is. It is a Raging Goblin from Magic the Gathering. I love the idea of first turn, you play a mountain, tap, throw out the Raging Goblin, and he attacks right off the bat, dealing 1 point of damage. It's a let's go type of card. Alright, green will then draw. Llanowar Elves, that's perfect, that's what green wants. It's a 1/1 mana dork, gives you a mana. We're going to play the forest. Now we have an option here. We can play the Mana Dork, or we can play this 0/4 wall that gives us mana. For 2 mana, we definitely want to play the 0/4 wall to block the Raging Goblin. Unfortunately, the Raging Goblin's not going to be able to get through as easy this time. Red's turn. Oh, sorry, that's my hand. Red's turn. Play a mountain. And with 2, we can actually get past that overgrown battlement. We could play the Madcap Skills. +3/+0. If you put that on the Raging Goblin, the green player will need 2 creatures to block the Raging Goblin. Or we could set up for a little bit later attack with the Mog Flunkies at 3/3. He does not have haste, however. But it could be a pretty good drop into our 3rd turn when we have this 4/2 with haste. However, I think I'm going to wait on the Mog Flunkies and try to get some more damage in. Red's going to really try to get as much damage in as possible before green gets set up. So we're going to attach Madcap Skills, making Raging Goblin a 4/1 now. Pretty good. And it will swing, and green player needs 2 creatures to block. It cannot block. So Raging Goblin's going to hit for 4 this time, which is pretty good for a little Raging Goblin. Now you see why I like the card so much. Alright, green player's turn. Another Mana Dork. Not the worst thing in the world here. We're going to draw 3rd land, so technically green player has 4 lands here now. They can throw down some Mana Dorks to help them build up land, and maybe even help block against this Raging Goblin, or we could tap everything and play the troll, the 3/3 troll who can regenerate. However, if we play the troll, we'll have to tap the wall, and we will not have enough to block the Raging Goblin. We really don't want to get hit with 4 points of damage again, not knowing what's going to be coming behind that Raging Goblin for even more damage. So unfortunately, we might have to sacrifice a few of our Llanowar elves, so we'll tap 2 mana and put the Llanowar elves out. As kind of just a, hey, maybe just a chump blocker. They're going to die probably. But that's okay. We do have some blockers now. Alright, it's Red's turn. Alright, Red drew Fling. It's a pretty good card that lets you deal damage if you sacrifice a creature, and we might see a cool trick with that card later in the game. Play our land for the turn. We now have 3, which we can pair up with our Minotaur Skullcleaver. So do we want to play the Mogg Flunky and attack later, or do we want to throw down this Minotaur Skullcleaver? This is probably the more aggressive attack, so that's what we're going to do. However, to think about, we could, if we wanted to, we could actually fling the Madcap skill Raging Goblin at the player and hit the player for 4 damage. Wouldn't be a horrible way for the Raging Goblin to die, because the Raging Goblin attacks, it's going to get killed. However, it'll probably take out a card with it, which would be worth it. So let's go ahead and tap 3 and play the Minotaur Skullcleaver. It's a 2/2 with haste. However, when it comes into the battlefield, it gets a +2/+0. So right now it's a 4/2 with haste. So again, we're trying to deal as much damage as possible. 4/2. We see we definitely have some more damage behind us with these lightning elementals. They are 4/1s with haste. So if we can get the green player low, we can try to finish them off with maybe a lightning elemental fling combination. We'll see. So let's swing out. 4/1 and a 4/2 coming at green. Green realizes this 4/2 is going to not be a 4/2 the next day. Thinks about taking the damage, but you don't want to get too low. We definitely want to put someone in front of this Raging Goblin who can't be blocked. Let's see. We could do both Llanowar elves in front like that and block this way. However, we'll lose everything. Or we can put 1 Llanowar elf and the wall in front of the Raging Goblin, allowing the attacking player to decide how the 4 points of damage will be split among the 5 points of defensive damage. It will only be able to kill 1 of these. Meanwhile, we can put the other elf in front of the Minotaur Skullcleaver as a chump blocker. It's just going to die, but however, we won't take any damage. So that's the best way to do it, I think. Red player now has to decide. This, of course, Llanowar elf is going to die. The Raging Goblin is going to die because the Llanowar elf is going to deal the 1 point of damage needed to kill the Raging Goblin and only hit a defense of 1. And the Raging Goblin is going to kill one of these. Do we want to kill the Llanowar elf who can deal a point of damage, or the 0/4 wall? I think the 0/4 wall is the one you want to kill because it's going to be harder to get by later. So the 0/4 wall will die, the Llanowar elf will live, and the Raging Goblin will actually get killed by that Llanowar elf. So that's why I thought maybe we could fling the Raging Goblin to get some extra damage, but I think we have some other uses for fling later. Unfortunately, no damage was dealt, which is what green wants to see. Alright, green player, untap, draw. It gets another 0/4 wall, so that's perfect for green. They do want to keep defending, and if you're a green player, you're okay with it going a little slower. If you're feeling impatient and if you think, crap, I drew another wall, then maybe you're not a green player at heart, because the green player is going to be okay with this wall. We technically have 5 mana, so let's think here. We could play this Nespian Ass 4/5. Dropping a 4/5 at this point would be pretty good because red doesn't have too much going on. It would cost us the Llanowar elf mana. We could also play the Troll, get him out there and start maybe blocking and regenerating. Or we can play this Wall. Actually, let's see, it's 5 mana. We want to use our mana most efficiently. I think in this case, with 15 life, we're not too afraid of red right now. Let's go ahead and tap 5 mana and play the Nespian Asp. It's a 4/5 that can block flying creatures, and for 7 mana, it can get a +4/+4. So it can get pretty big. That is Monstrosity. Okay, so that's all we can do. Red player's turn. Red player does not like that 4/5. That's a big guy in front of red. Alright, red draws a mountain and plays it. Alright, let's think here now. We could send a lightning elemental at it, but the lightning elemental would literally just die and we would only deal 2 damage. A better attack maybe would be to set something up for next turn. So let's go ahead and play 2 mana for our Mauled Flunkies. It's a 3/3 that cannot attack alone. However, it does not have haste, so we're going to have to wait here. Now we could do a little trick here. Remember, Magic is a lot about, catching people off guard and doing some tricks. If we wanted to, that wouldn't work. If we wanted to, we could attack with this Minotaur Skull, hoping that he blocks with the Asp, dealing 2 damage to the Nespian Asp, and then with our remaining 2 mana, fling the Mauled Flunkies at the Asp, killing it. Now, you really don't want to spend 1, 2, 3 cards to kill 1 card, so we're not going to do that. Alright, green player's turn. You get the Mandork back. You got 4 mana. Draw up. Alright, we drew a Vulpine Goliath. It costs 6 mana, but it's a 6/5 trample. So if you like the big cards, that means you're a green player. That makes you excited when you see that 6/5 with trample. Alright, let's see, with 5 mana, you want to play the Wall or the Troll? If we play the Wall, it will give us a 6th mana to play the Vulpine Goliath next turn, guaranteed. Or we can hope to draw mana. In this case, what's more important, a 0/4 or a 3/3? I say let's use the mana we have and pay 4 mana here to play the Troll. It's going to give us a 3/3. The 3/3 can block the 2/2 if needed. Alright, so do we attack with the 4/5 here? That's an option. If we attack with the 4/5, they could double block and kill the Nespian Asp, while 4 damage would only kill one of these. It would be a 1-for-1 trade. That's not what a green player wants to do. Green player wants to kind of sit back here and build up a little bit, maybe get to use its Monstrosity when we have enough mana, so we're not going to attack. Red player's turn. Alright, another Lightning Elemental. It might be time to start sending Lightning Elementals out there, but the Lightning Elementals will die to that Nespian Asp. Even the Llanowar Elf could kill the Lightning Elemental. So it's kind of tough. We definitely want to play something though. You don't want to sit back and do nothing. So let's pay 4 mana. I don't really want to fling anything yet. So let's play the Lightning Elemental. And while it's a 4/1 with haste, usually you want to send that flying. We're not going to do that because it'll just die to this Llanowar Elf, or it'll die to the Nespian Asp, and we have nothing to help. Which is not a good sign for red. Red does not want to be waiting. That's usually where we feel the tide turning. Green's starting to gain a grasp on the control here on the game board state. With only losing 5 life, that's pretty good for green. Alright, green draws another forest, which is definitely what it wanted. So now it has 5 mana plus the mana dork here. That means 6 mana. It can play the Vulpine Goliath if it likes. It could also play the Overgrown Battlement here, which would provide a 7th mana, setting us up for the Monstrosity next turn. It's not a bad play either, especially since we could keep 2 mana open to keep the Troll being able to regenerate. I kind of like that idea. Do we want a 6/5 right away, or do we want to set up for the larger guy? With the game board kind of in a pretty good state here, I say we play it defensively. And we'll save that Vulpine Goliath. So we'll pay 2 mana and play the wall. It's going to give us more defense. It also leaves us 2 mana open for our regeneration here. And next turn we'll definitely have enough to become Monstrosity. Do we attack again? No, we do not attack. We're going to sit and defend until we are too big to control. Red's turn. Red's definitely getting nervous. A Mog Flunky comes out. Not bad. Yeah, why not play the Mog Flunky? We really are kind of stuck here because we can't get past that Nesby and Asp without losing everything. One thing actually Red can do. Now, a Red player maybe sees that they're about to get enough mana for that Monstrosity, wants to try to put some pressure to kill these mana dorks. That might not be a bad idea. Especially when we're starting to feel like the game's getting out of control for Red, we could try something like that. So let's tap 4 mana, play another Lightning Elemental, and send everybody. What we can do here is definitely run into some people and see what happens. Maybe not him. Definitely want to attack the 3/3, the 4/1, and the 4/1. If he uses that, if he uses the 4/5 over here, and the 3/3 is going to regenerate, yeah, he's just going to block the 2/2. It's not going to really help us too much. So we're going to keep... Actually, you know what? Red doesn't sit back. Let's swing with everything. Alright, swing with everything. Alright, the green player now decides what they want to lose. They're going to put the 4/5, seeing the red player's tapped out, they can't do anything else, they're going to put the 4/5 in front of one of the lightning elementals. They're going to put they're going to put the troll, the 3/3, in front of the other lightning elemental. And they're also going to put this land... Actually, you know what? We really wanted them... Do we want to lose these guys? This is what I'm talking about. The red player is making the green player decide whether they want to lose their mana dorks because they're supposed to have Monstrosity next turn. Only taking 5 damage. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. Does the green player really want to get down to 10 life? Or do they want to wait off a little bit? I say let's kill the mana dorks and we'll draw the mana the hard way. So let's put this troll actually in front of this Minotaur Cleaver here. It's going to easily allow him to kill the Minotaur. We'll put the Llanowar Elf in front of the Lightning Elemental, and we'll put this Overgrown Battlement in front of the Mog Flunky. Now as a green player, you're going to get some really good trades here. The Nesby Asp kills the Lightning Elemental. The Llanowar Elf actually kills the Lightning Elemental also, but dies. The Overgrown Wall is going to block the Mog Flunky and no one dies. And over here, the Troll will kill that Skull Cleaver. So maybe it wasn't the best idea to attack with the Skull Cleaver. But it did cause the green player to lose their Llanowar Elf. Red's now done, and they don't have a whole lot. So red didn't come out so great in that attack. As a green player, we're feeling really good. We might have to wait another turn to get our Monstrosity. We don't have enough land. We only have 6. But hey, 6 is enough to play the Vulpine Goliath. We also grew Prey Upon. Prey Upon's a kind of a cool card for green. It makes two creatures fight each other, which would definitely let the Nespian Asp kill that Mog Flunky without even having to attack or block. Feels like that's a pretty good move. Or we can kind of go for it here, feeling that the red player's on the ropes. We could put the Vulpine Goliath out now. I think that might be best. It will save the Prey Upon. We don't really need to kill the Mog Flunky because it can't attack or block alone anyway. So let's tap 5 mana here, and we're going to tap our wall for the 6th mana and play the Vulpine Goliath, a 6/5 with trample. Now, does green attack here? Most of you are saying yes, he must attack here for 7 damage. We could really put red against the ropes here. Seeing that the red player only has 4 mana, 3 cards in hand, and a Mog Flunky, it's definitely worth attacking with at least one of them. Let's attack with just the Nespian Asp. Actually, no, let's keep the Nespian Asp back as a blocker. Let's attack with the Skyshroud Troll for 3 damage. Red can't block. And that's a very conservative attack. But as a green player, it really wants to make sure we're not going to get caught off guard by some super attack where they steal one of our big creatures, hit us with it, and then fling it at us and kill us all in one turn when we get caught off guard. So we want to be ready for a block. Alright, red player untaps. We get Minotaur Skull Cleaver. So red player's kind of hoping for some, maybe a 5th mana so they can do more than one thing at a time. Or they really want to be able to steal one of the green player's creatures, because this is not looking good for red. They can play a Lightning Elemental so that the Mog Flunky can attack, but what are you going to attack into? You'll just die. And see, that's why it was pretty good for green to sit back and block. If green had attacked, yeah, they would have dealt damage, but red would have attacked right back and dealt damage also. And red really wants green to get low on life so it can finish it with things like Fling or an Incinerate or a Disintegrate. So red is pretty much helpless here. Can't get past these giant creatures. Again, that's why we sat back and blocked. Green's turn. They're feeling really good now. Feeling very comfortable. Doesn't really matter what we draw here. A 6th land at this point. We're feeling good because we can Monstrosity the Nespian Asp, or we can play Prey Upon and kill one of those things. Let's see. We might have lethal here. It's possible. Nope, we only have 13 damage. We could play Prey Upon to kill the Lightning Elemental, and then the Flunky would not be able to block, and we could swing for actually a full 13 damage. Since we can't finish him off, he has 17 life, it's not really worth going that route just yet. Instead, we really want to make this Nespian Asp a huge person, but not if we can't kill him with it. And right now we only have 6, 7. We wouldn't be able to make him big and Prey Upon. So let's go with the safer bet and use Prey Upon. Prey Upon, 2 creatures fight each other. Let's make the Vulpine Goliath attack the Lightning Elemental. 4 damage, does not kill the fox, but the fox will kill the Lightning Elemental. We're going to keep our mana open for regenerating. And this time, what we'll do is we'll attack with the 2 big guys. Mog Flunkies cannot block by himself. There's no land. We're feeling pretty safe swinging for 10 damage. All the way down to 7. We also have 2 blockers left behind in case red does something. But this game looks like it's just about over. Red draws. They get an Incinerate. Without a 5th land to be able to do something, red really is kind of stuck here. However, it did not have the 5th land, so on green's turn, they would just attack back and win. And so green is the winner again.